Oh my goodness, that does not sound happy.
We're talking about how miserable the cold is here in St. Louis.
It's very cold. The cold is bothering Mike anyway. So
the wind chill was 15 below this morning.
Yeah, you don't want to. I mean, it's cold here, but you don't want to know that this weekend I put out mulch in my backyard and was perfectly comfortable. And then also my daffodils are growing. So
it's a shock to the system because last weekend it was 88 back down in Florida. And
that's true. You're just like getting it from both sides of it.
One Sunday, like I get a heat advisory running. The next Sunday, did you see my picture yesterday after my run?
Yeah, you had like icicles on your eyebrows.
I know. I didn't even realize it until I got in. I was like, my face is dripping. And
my gosh.
Oh my gosh, chunks are falling off. I got somebody called them ice brows. So
they were ice brows.
I'm a real runner because I looked like I ran on Hoth or something.
It did.
Because
it really did.
Barely snowing when I started. Like the sidewalk wasn't covered. I can hear myself.
What'd you say? Sorry.
I hurt myself there. So like when I started, I got out right as the snow started. So it was just like lightly on the sidewalk.
Got it.
So like you could see my feet prints as I went around the block because I do like 50 laps. Right. So by the end though, it was like 3 inches deep. Like I had
my gosh,
running down a rut. It was like the Death Star. I had like a little tunnel.
That's crazy.
We have folks getting in here. Let's see who we have. And then we'll get started. We have Courtney. We have Rhonda. Doug. Alan's always here. James.
I love it.
Here. Let's see here. Debbie. Yay! She was a princess.
That's awesome.
My princess weather. Tim's always here. Natalie. I'm taking attendance like an old teacher. Present, and present. Oh, and James is going slow in September. Nobody to argue with.
That's true.
So pop this up. Make us look all official like.
Are we official?
Look at that. I got the lower third and everything.
Oh, look at this.
Betsy's here with Caroline. Hey, Caroline. Give Caroline a shout out real quick before we start.
What's up, Caroline?
Hey, be good. I have to concentrate on questions. Okay, let me get a question.
That's right.
All right. Let's do this. This is 14. And Pam will be back Friday. We're only doing one show tonight. Pam will be on Friday's show. We're recording tomorrow afternoon. If you are around, we'll be here. If you want to skip work. Howdy, Ryan. Howdy, Kim. Okay. Enough of the shout outs. We'll do them during the show. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
1455. Welcome to episode 1455 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents, very busy agents, over at the Magic for Less Travel on what we call Silver Day. And if you don't know what Silver Day is, it's the day that anybody who is Silver Castaway Club can book that next group of sailings. Right now, we're looking at summer 2020. The summer sailings are always the busiest ones, obviously, because people are out of school and they're awesome. So, this day, if you don't hear from me, it's because I have a phone stuck in my ear and another one in the other ear, and my fingers are typing like crazy. But it is Silver Day. We're going to make it through. We're going to get people on all 4 of those great ships and having a great time next summer. But this summer, podcast cruise coming up this summer, man. It's less than 120 days out. I'm checked in. I have my Apollo reservations ready to go. Get me on that ship. But we're talking listener questions today. Ricky's joining us. She's here from a Disney World After All.com, touringplans.com, and of course, the Mouse for Less. What's going on, Ricky?
Oh, still catching up on news. So
is there any news? I mean, Star?
I don't know. There's some star something happening at Disney, I think. I'm not entirely sure. But something blew up this week. Or last week, I guess I should say.
Nothing blew up. I mean, the Death Star blew up twice.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's going to be fun. I'm excited for all the leaks that are getting out there, the previews, the lucky press that are getting to get a little bit peek behind the curtains, and we're hearing good things. So it will be soon. We're gonna sprinkle that stuff in here on the podcast because every other show is talking about it. But we will talk about it, but we kind of like to let things settle a little bit. And, when every other show is doing a show on it during a certain week, we usually kind of tend to give it a little time because, I think that the more you wait, the more information you get, and then you can have a better conversation on it. So we'll see.
This is true. Yeah, definitely.
What are you real quick though, more excited for Smuggler's Run or what's called Rise of the Resistance. I
Oh,
think the Resistance, and it's not the Millennium Falcon ride.
I'm all in on Rise of Resistance, and I've been all in on Rise of Resistance since it was announced. Like, from what I've understood about this attraction, it's going to be next level bananas. So I have been so excited about this attraction from the very get-go. Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, to me, it sounds a lot like Mission Space, 2.0. I mean, I don't think it'll make you sick like Mission Space does. But, to me, it feels a lot like what you'd experience just on a next level of Mission Space. And I don't love Mission Space. I mean, I'll do it, but it's not like my favorite. So I don't know. I don't have the Star Wars affection that everybody else does. So like, to me, there's no real desire to, oh my gosh, I have to get on the Millennium Falcon. Like, that doesn't, do it for me. But I will say I did finally watch Solo this past weekend. So I know a little bit more about how Han got it. So
Solo got panned, but it's really not that bad of a movie. I think the Star Wars, the expectations are just always so high.
It's not. And as someone who doesn't know a lot about Star Wars, I mean, I know more than I thought I would, but I don't know a lot about Star Wars. I actually enjoyed the movie, probably because I hadn't been imagining, how Han won the ship, that kind of thing, or how he completed the, Kessel Run, in 12 parsecs and, stuff like that. But, that's not stuff I've been dreaming about. So I know, look at me.
I like it. Well,
I know he won the game of Sabak. So there's that. Boom, dropping it. Yeah.
How about Madeline's mentioned in the live chat as we record here on Facebook about the costumes that were revealed. I mean, the first thing I thought was pretty awesome looking. I like them. I mean, those suckers are going to be hot. I hope they're working inside attractions.
So from what I understand, they don't have to wear all the pieces, so they can kind of mix and match, which is a new thing that Disney has never allowed their cast members to be able to do. So that part is really nice. Also, things that are like look layered are not actually layered. They are, illusions of the eye. So that part is nice too. So hopefully it won't be so bad, and that the cast members will survive.
Man, I'm there in like the lightest, like athletic, the wicking, whatever those like.
Yes, and you're still sweating like you're crazy, man.
Summer, I'm dying. You know what? I don't need to look like I'm from Tatooine or anything, but
no, I'm sweating in my sundresses. So.
Seriously, I think it's great though. So I'm really excited. We'll have discussions when we get all three of us back together again here soon and talk about it. But
which one are you most excited for? You didn't answer the question.
Smuggler's Run. Damn. I mean, because not Smuggler's Run. Rise of Resistance.
Rise of Resistance.
Yeah, okay. Because I think it's gonna be longer, more in depth, and like you said, I think it's gonna be very unique compared to the experience you're gonna have on Smuggler's Run. But the thing about Smuggler's Run is, and I saw a meme somewhere last week on this, that when I walk in, I'm definitely gonna turn to my wife and be like, Chewy, we're home.
You know how many people are going to do that?
I can't wait. I just want to get we're home.
So many people are going to say that, and it's going to be the most like Instagrammed thing out there. It's just people going in there and saying, Chewy, we're home.
I mean, I know it's just in the cast members are going to be so sick of that.
Oh, they're going to be so tired of it. Yeah, it's going to be awful.
All right, we're here for listener questions, and we have Dan Cisneros from New Mexico in our chat. We appreciate him being in the chat. He says he's going to Walt Disney World late August. You think the gondolas will be running? My guess is, again, we don't know for sure. Yeah. I say yes. I mean, they are moving along with these tests, and I just think that by August, I mean, it's March, it's the beginning of March. I think yes.
All right. So do you want the official answer or the non-official answer?
I'm just giving what my heart tells me.
All right. So the official answer is no, it's not going to be till fall of 2019. My unofficial answer is I think it depends on, so yes, they are testing the gondolas and they are moving at a fast pace and they are testing very nicely, it looks like. But of course, with all the, you want to make sure that these get tested very well because it is a mode of transportation that's going to have you dangling from the sky, basically. So you want to make sure that it works right.
I'm all for like that stuff being tested thoroughly and mechanics for airplanes being happy. So
exactly. So the more testing they do, the better I feel. So that's good. The thing that I think is going to be is the hindrance is the stations. So some of those stations are not quite where they need to be. And you know what? I really don't know if they'll have. So I think I don't know if the Riviera one or, the one in between the Riviera and Caribbean Beach is as far along. So I think that one, that they'd have to wait on that one. And the Riviera does open in July. So I would think that they would probably want to aim for that July date. That's my guess. So I would say that probably by July, when the Riviera opens, we'll see the gondolas maybe be open. But as of right now, the official answer is fall 2019. So.
That's a good point. You just got to look at kind of the least common denominator of any of the facets of the whole system. And that's when that's finished, then the system should come online.
I would hope that the system would come online. But if they still need to do more testing, by all means, please, Disney, do as much testing of those as you possibly can. Especially in the middle, of thunderstorm season, when everybody else is freaking out about it, and I'm sitting here going, "You guys do know that they close the boats when there's lightning around too, right? Like they don't put the boats out when there's lightning." So just throwing that out there for y'all. They're not going to put you on a gondola in the middle of a lightning storm. Just saying.
I can't wait to ride them though. They're going to be awesome. Oh man, I'm so pumped. All right,
go
ahead.
We do. If you want a gondola shirt, we do have them for sale in our T Public store. It actually is a gondola shirt, and it's so adorable because I made it. So I'm very proud of my shirt.
Ryan's saying the Riviera doesn't open until December. Grand Destino Tower opens.
Dang it.
Right.
See? Okay.
Yeah, I'm staying.
Thanks, Ryan. I knew I saw somebody was staying at one of those new hotels in July when I was looking at my Disney experience. I thought it was that one.
No, it's in the tower. Yeah.
I think if anybody knows things more than I do, I think it's Ryan, to be perfectly honest. So thanks for keeping me honest.
We got it. Okay, thanks, Ryan. We appreciate that very much. All right, let's get to. Oh, and Chef Todd's in the chat. We love Chef Todd saying one of his culinary classmates is working in menu development for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. I mean,
that's awesome.
Wow,
that's really cool.
Making food from other worlds.
That's really cool.
All right, let's get to the questions from the inbox. Nikki says, "Hey, Mike, Ricky, and Pam, I have an opportunity to go down to the world May 3 through 6. I'll be meeting with my husband Friday night when he gets there at the tail end of a work trip. My kids, who are 2 and 7, are staying home in Pennsylvania with the grandparents. I'm a seasoned Walt Disney World traveler, seen and done a majority of the rides and shows, and we'll be back again in July for 2 weeks for a family vacation. I need some suggestions. 1, I would most likely be arriving late Thursday night, so I will have Friday as a solo traveler. I want to go to the Character Warehouse at the outlets. Oh my gosh. My dilemma is, how should I plan my solo day, and what is the best way to get around? Do you recommend Uber or Lyft for the outlets? First off, for the love of God, don't go to the outlets.
You're fine. I think if you're taking Uber or Lyft, you will be just fine because you won't have to park, which to me,
I wouldn't have to park. I would maybe have not tried to murder somebody.
Yes, exactly. I think the main problem there is parking. Hands down, that is the biggest problem at the outlets. So if you are taking an Uber or a Lyft, I think you'll be fine because there are places for them to drop you off at. If you are going on a solo day, can I just suggest, because I've done it, the outlets don't technically close till 11 o'clock in the evening. So if for some reason, like, you want to go when there won't be any crowds, just go later in the evening and, you'll be fine. But I can understand where that would be a little challenging because, if you might want to spend the afternoon at the outlets shopping and then go to the parks in the evening. So I get it. But that's my little tip, is to go to the outlets the closer to the later part of the evening.
And be ready to be pestered by somebody from the Carnival Cruise little kiosk in the middle.
See, I just avoid them all. You just walk past and ignore. But I have my resting witch face on, so they generally don't bother me.
Never going back to that place. I hate shopping. Number 2, any suggestions for where to eat on Friday, her solo day? I can't make up my mind, but I'm leaning towards more quick service type meals so I can cover lots of ground. I like quick service when you're solo because, boom, you're in, you're out, you get your meal. But I did enjoy, I'll tell you what, I enjoyed my meal at Beer Garden at Epcot when I was solo because I got to talk to some folks and they listen to the podcast. What a bonus. But seriously, it was a good meal. That's an easy one to do solo as a table service. Anything you suggest, Ricky?
I do solo all the time. So I really don't have problems getting, going in the app and making a reservation for whatever sounds good at the park I'm in, at about the time that I want to go eat. So if for some reason you are interested in a sit-down meal, that's going to be the best tip that I have for you. But yeah, counter service is the way to go if you just really want to be quick. And may I suggest to mobile order your counter service meal? That way you avoid the lines.
Absolutely. Always use mobile order, man. That was a lifesaver over Princeton.
Yes.
Awesome. And her last question. Once my husband makes it there, we're thinking of doing a tour or special experiences. We won't have the kids in tow. Great idea. Suggestions on what we should book. We've done Keys to the Kingdom and Backstage Magic before. Kids have a magical day. Nikki's about an hour north of Philly in Pennsylvania. I've enjoyed Marceline to the Magic Kingdom. That's a cool tour. I've also enjoyed for 2 adults, yeah, what's it called? I did the one where you go around a World Showcase at Epcot.
Yes, Undiscovered Epcot.
No, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I was going to suggest.
It's really good. At least we ended with lunch in Rosencrown. It was really good. I think 2 adults would really like that one.
I was going to suggest that one. The other one I was going to suggest was maybe the Wild Africa trek, because it is so unique and something that people don't really think about a lot of times.
Yes, and you have those cheaper ones too, with like Caring for the Elephant,
Caring for Giants, and the Rhino one as well, which are really reasonable and they're only about an hour or so they're absolutely something that I would suggest doing too, considering.
Natalie suggesting the Ultimate Nights of Adventure.
I have not heard of that one.
Neither have I. She making that one up? She doing that one on her own? I think that's
maybe she did. I have all of them up on the mouse for list, and I don't recognize that one. So that's a cool one if that's still offered.
Yeah,
that's really awesome.
You just gotta pay Natalie PayPal, and she'll meet.
Yeah, exactly. She'll take you around.
No, I'll have to do some research. Wendy also suggests Geyser Point solo. Great. Yes, I would agree. Outdoor, especially if the weather's nice. We have a lot of great questions in the chat, so I'm trying to get to them here. Let's see. Emily says, I made a reservation for 10 at Cinderella's Royal Table this morning for our trip in September. Ouch. Yeah, no doubt, man. Whew, yes. 10 people for Cindy's. We have a room-only reservation, but we'll be adding the dining plan. Since I paid in full, but we will have used dining credits, when will I get my refund? When I purchase the dining plan, or when we go and actually pay with the credits, or I'm out of luck? You'll get refunded when you pay for the meal with your dining credits, I believe. Yep. That's how it should work.
That's right. Yeah.
All right, let's see here. Jeanette says that she was just down there. She spent like a month at the.
I know. I loved it. She was at Universal. She looked like she had a good time.
They had a great time, it looked like. But she said that the gondolas were rolling right along at a good clip, which we've seen. Let's see. Dan Cisneros asks, any updates on the refurb for Spaceship Earth? You heard that it could be down for 2 years. Ricky, you're the rumor person. Is this part of the general Future World? Is this going to be part of that? I mean, I could imagine they have to do this in phases. They don't want to take out all Future World at once.
Yeah, I mean, it depends, I guess. Everybody go in through World Showcase. That seems like a terrible idea. I've heard the rumors. I don't know how true I find them to be. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes to fruition. Let's put it that way. I feel like, obviously this version of Spaceship Earth has gotten some flack over the years, especially the narration and stuff like that. So, and how much everybody seems to dislike the descent. I would hope that they would keep, if they made the refurbishments to it, they would keep the general idea behind it, because that is truly quintessentially, Epcot. So I would really hope that they don't, go that whole thing that they had talked about before, where they were going to put a roller coaster in there and stuff like that. Like, that was a terrible idea. Let's not do that, Disney.
That's a terrible idea.
Let's not do that. Let's keep the idea behind Spaceship Earth the way it is, and just refurbish, if you're going to refurbish it, refurbish it that way. But I really don't know anything concrete. I've seen the rumors like everybody else, and I have no idea when they would start working on it, nor do I know how long the refurbishment would actually take. So I would assume that they'd want to have it done by 2021 if they were planning on doing it. So, and if it's supposed to take 2 years, then I would assume that they would be, we're at 2019 now, so I'd assume any time within the next 6 months or so, we'd start hearing something, because, the 50th is October 1st, so 2021. So that would assume that would be the date that they'd want to have it open for.
I just can't see them taking it down for 2 years. I don't think it would take that long to do the descent.
I don't either. I don't know where that 2 year time frame is coming from, nor do I know what they would. I think they're building, Guardians of the Galaxy faster than, what I'm saying? I think that's a 2 year build right there, and they're building a whole new building. So I can't imagine that it would be a 2 year refurbishment for Spaceship Earth. Although I've been wrong before. Clearly I've been wrong on this episode. So
You're not
You
wrong
never
on it.
know.
When you are, it's on the listener question show.
Exactly.
You know, Spaceship Earth's kind of like a security blanket for me. Like I don't
know.
write it every time I go to Epcot, but I need to know that it's there to take in.
Yes, I write it every time.
I love it. I do almost every time. Sometimes I miss it.
Yeah, yeah. If I didn't get a fast pass and the line is too long, I won't write it. But most of the time, I end up getting a fast pass for it.
All right, Lauren got a great question in the chat. It says, "What's a better option? Pay for club level fast passes for a family of 4, or for 4 days, or spend 1 day on a VIP tour guide for Walt Disney World?" So. Ooh. Here's what I would say on this one. I would go with VIP tour guide for the 1 day and really maximize that time because it's going to cost a little bit more to do the VIP tour guide if I'm making my calculations correctly, but not much more. Of course, I'm getting 1 day, but I mean, doesn't everybody deep down want to the VIP tour guide? Like, who's that? You know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
when you get that chance, I would totally do it for 1 day.
Absolutely. I think I would do that for 1 day too, because they can backdoor you. They can take you to, on a special van and, go behind the scenes of things to get you places faster. So, I mean, if your ultimate goal is to ride as many attractions as possible in 1 day kind of thing, I think that that's going to be the key right there. As great as the club level fast pass option is, I think that, I still think having that clout of the VIP tour is probably a little bit better.
All right. A little follow-up from Kim. She says, just a tidbit of info about the annual pass upgrade. Says, hi, Mike, Pam, and Ricky. I just wanted to pass on a piece of info that I discovered on my recent trip to Disney. I bought tickets as part of a package, but wanted to upgrade them to the annual pass, which I did. And I'm so excited because it was on my bucket list. And that means I have to plan another trip. On your show, you told someone that the upgrade had to be done at guest services at a park or at Disney Springs. I was able to do this with the concierge desk at Port Orleans. They said, as long as you're a registered hotel guest, any of the concierge desks can apply what has been paid already and just charge the upgraded cost. Just thought I'd pass this on as it saves a ton of time waiting before the park opens. It was just applied to my band and I walked straight in. I enjoy listening to your podcast immensely. It keeps me in the Disney spirit. Thanks for all you do, Kim. That's why I love the show, because we are a huge community. This is something that is apparently pretty new, because I know they could not do these kind of things at the hotel. But if they can, this is a huge plus. And there's no reason they shouldn't be able to with the My Disney experience. They could just charge you and just change the ticket type right there on your, because, the system should be the same, guest services or concierge at the hotel. So I say, give it a shot. I'm definitely going to give it a shot next time, because it is way easier to do this at your hotel than at one of the guest services locations. That's good.
Sorry, I'm reading up about the Ultimate Nights of Adventure VIP tour, which actually does exist at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Okay. It's a 4-hour tour. Interesting. I need to make sure that we have this on the master list, and if not, I need to add it.
Is Natalie mentioned anywhere as the host of the tour?
No, she is not. Yeah, so apparently I need to add this to the tour page. It's pretty cool. You get to experience Everest, Kilimanjaro Safaris, Avatar, Flight of Passage, Navi River Journey, Dinosaur, and Rivers of Light, as well as get signature snacks and specialty beverages. And let's see here, it's $249 a person. Woo!
You had me before Rivers of Light and $249.
Yikes. That is definitely a pricey tour for sure. So
that's fun.
Very interesting. All right. Well, I learned something new. So again, I'm being proved wrong today. So that's pretty awesome. Thanks, guys.
You know what? You know what this is? It's a test for Galaxy's Edge, because it's high priced to get you in Flight of Passage. You know what? They're going to do a high price tour at the studios and get you in Galaxy's Edge.
Yes, I would absolutely agree with that. This is definitely, getting ready for that. So, yeah.
All right. Tim's asking about, does anybody know if Uber and Lyft are freely let into the Contemporary for a drop-off? Has anyone done this lately? I mean, I've done this many times to walk to the from the Magic Kingdom, walk to the Contemporary, get a Uber back to the hotel if I didn't want to wait for a bus. They have to let folks in, because they don't know if you're hotel guests. You could be a hotel guest going to your room. You could be going to dinner at one of the restaurants. And people in chat are saying, yes, it's no worries on that. Mm-hmm. And thanks to Natalie for that information. We appreciate that so much. Marlisa, we love Marlisa. She's awesome. She's always in the chat room with us. She says, so confused. I want to book my next trip with Galaxy's Edge coming early 2020? Would crowds be too crazy then? Would later 2020 be better for two adults? May the force continue to be with you both. Well, thank you. And with you. Here's the thing. I get this question a lot on the travel agent side of things. Like, should I wait till the end of 2019? Should I do the early 2020? Should I wait till 2021? The parks, with everything that's happening, you have a lot of milestone events coming up. You have Galaxy's Edge. You have Walt Disney World's 50th. You just, and the thing is, Disney has become so good at not having downtime and offering promotions that fill the parks and the beds at the hotels, even when nothing's going on for like a few months here and there. I just say, plan the trip for when it works best for your calendar and your schedule, and when you can make it work financially. But when it works best with all of your criteria, plan the trip. Go. Yeah. Because, the thing is, you could wait till 2026 and maybe the crowds, but they're going to make something new. They're going to put another new land in, maybe they add a second part of Galaxy's Edge or whatever. Just take the trip when you're ready and make the best of it. The crowds are going to be there, but with a good touring plan, listen, if you listen to the show, you have great ideas of how to get around the crowds and just have an awesome time. I just think if you wait, you just may never go. I'm getting that a lot.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that, lines are going to be crazy for Galaxy's Edge. 2020 is going to be insane. 2021 is going to be insane. We know that they're building all this stuff for the 50th anniversary. So really, I don't think you're going to see a slow point until at least 2022, 2023. So if you're looking to go down there, go. That's kind of my theory. Will you wait forever in line for Galaxy's Edge? Sure. Especially if you go at the beginning of 2020, you're absolutely going to wait forever for Galaxy's Edge. But you know what? In 2021, you're going to wait forever to get on Remy's Ratatouille Adventure and the Guardians of the Galaxy coaster. And, the next thing and the next thing is you're going to wait forever for something, and the lines are going to continue to keep growing and growing. So I think that just go when you want to go and deal with the lines as they come up, and figure out ways to do what you want to do. And if the lines are prohibitive for Galaxy's Edge and you don't want to wait 5 hours in line for each attraction, don't do it. Hopefully the rest of the park will be cleared out, but they probably won't be. So although you look at Avatar and Pandora, really the only part of Disney's Animal Kingdom that's super busy still is Pandora. The rest of the attractions have kind of evened out. So hopefully it would be the same for,
And I was thinking about this afternoon, is that it's got, the enormous crowds to the studios when Galaxy's Edge opens in a way will be a blessing, because it's going to, that's what I'm looking at. But it's also going to draw a lot more people to the resort, but it's going to draw so many people to Galaxy's Edge that when you're avoiding Galaxy's Edge, which is going to be 75 to 90% of your vacation, you're not going to be there all the time. The Magic Kingdom crowd should be a little bit lighter. Epcot crowds, as everybody's like focused on that, it could be a blessing, to the other part of your touring. I don't know, but you're not going to be there all the time. I'm always trying to find a positive spin on things.
Right.
So maybe.
Right. Yeah. That makes sense.
All right. Shout out to Gilson in the chat from Brazil. And of course, Tracy is here from over in Europe. Staying up with us tonight. So thank you so much for that. All right, let's get to the inbox again. We're trying to bounce back and forth. This one was titled You All Are the Best. So of course it gets read right away.
That's questionable today.
Right to the top of the queue. Dear Mike, Pam, and Ricky, I don't have a question, but instead I want to say a huge thank you for helping make our family's recent trip to Walt Disney World just about perfect. In early December 2018, 6 of us, my wife and I, our 7-year-old son, my parents, and my father-in-law all went down to Orlando for 6 nights at the World and 2 nights at that other place. We've all been to Disneyland before, but this was our son's first trip to Walt Disney World, and the rest of us adults hadn't been in about 15 years. Needless to say, when we first made the decision to go way back in December of 2017, I quickly realized that I needed to get busy planning. One of the first things I did was seek out some Disney planning podcasts. I tried a bunch, but quickly gravitated towards your podcast as my favorite source of Disney info. I binged about a year's worth of 2017 shows in a few months. Oh my goodness.
That's a lot of us.
It is. And when I caught up, I couldn't wait for each new episode. Actually, I still can't wait for each new episode. And now that I've been there recently, I actually know what you're talking about most of the time. I love that. Not only did y'all help me make so many good decisions, you're also responsible for the single piece of advice that I think helped make the trip truly magical. Make some plans, but be flexible. It made all the difference in the world. I could go on and on about all the fun we had, but I'll just end with this. I don't think I've ever planned something that made everyone in the family happy, but with your help and some Disney magic, it actually happened. Thanks again for all your time and effort you put into creating such a wonderful podcast and podcast community. And go Cardinals. Sincerely, Ian. He is out in San Jose, California, by way of Springfield, Illinois.
Wow.
This is very kind of Ian.
That is.
And you know what? I'm so glad that he had a great trip, because that's what it's all about. I love hearing that. So
it is. It's so awesome that he had such a great time with his family. So that's so wonderful. And that's what it's all about.
Absolutely. So. And we do, and he mentioned the community. Thank you. Because right now, today, how many times right today, we've had great information from our chat room, and it's helping me get around. When I have to upgrade my annual pass next time, it's going to save me time. This is a community. We're all in this together. It's awesome. I love it. So thank you to everybody. All right. Next question's quick. It says big booms in the sky from Steve. Looks like he's a teacher out in.
Hey, Mike, I think you lost me. Oh, wait. Yeah.
You're here.
Sorry. Oh, I know. I think that nobody else can see me.
Let's see.
Sorry, I just saw it in chat and I didn't mean to interrupt, but I'm back now. Okay.
We're good. We'll keep rolling. Ricky's back. Sorry about that.
Okay. Well, hi, everybody. I'm back.
I have a ton of windows going with all these emails. Here we go. Steve says Cardinal Mike.
Okay.
So now I'm
now you're a religious character?
No, yes, I don't know. Actually, I am let's see. I'm Adam Wainwright.
Okay, good.
We'll only be at DHS for one night later this month. The night that we'll be there, Fantasmic is scheduled for 8:30 and Star Wars fireworks are scheduled for 9. Is there any way to catch both, or do they schedule it that way? So you have to choose one or the other nighttime spectaculars. Thanks. Love the show, and go Rangers. Steve. Unfortunately, Steve, it's really almost impossible to see both, right, Ricky? Because Fantasmic is first, and it's a longer show, and you're like corralled back there. There's no way to get out of there quickly.
Correct. And now if it was the reverse and you had the fireworks first and then Fantasmic, then possibly you'd definitely be able to, I think you'd definitely be able to get over there. But yeah, because of the length of Fantasmic, and yes, you are corralled in, that stadium, there's pretty much absolutely no way for you to see both. So you're going to have to choose. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the thing is, if you try to make the dash, I still don't think you're going to make it.
You're not going to. And I mean, you would have to be sitting in the very last row and running out of the stadium, and I think they would yell at you for running. So I don't think, I don't know that it would be. It wouldn't be enjoyable. Let's put it that way.
True.
So.
All right, Matt and Kristen in the chat say any tips for taking 2 kids who are 6 and 9 with just one adult. One child is a thrill seeker and one is a scaredy cat. Not sure how I'm going to handle the big rides. Don't want to force the one who's afraid and don't want to hold back the one who wants to go. I say just make the scaredy cat go. It's make them, adversity makes you stronger in the long run. What do you say?
All right. As a former scaredy cat, that is a terrible idea. And I hate to say that because, I am someone who it took a very long time for me to be comfortable going on attractions, especially at Walt Disney World. And that's because my family made me go on attractions that scared the bejeebus out of me. So I would do your best to show them the attractions, make them feel comfortable with them, because part of the fear is kind of the unknown of what you're going to experience. And, back when I was afraid of the attractions and things like that, there was no YouTube. You didn't have planning videos to watch. You just, you had the line and the scary parts of the line, and you got in line and then you went on it. And then that's what terrified me. So, I would absolutely start showing the scaredy cat some of the attractions, and making them feel comfortable with them. And hopefully they will feel brave enough at that point to go on them, because I don't know that there's a lot that you can do. I mean, you can't leave the younger one behind. So you're kind of tied to what the younger one wants to do, which I know is not what you were looking to hear, but I think that's kind of where you're tied to.
You can't really give a 6-year-old a Mickey bar and say, meet me at this tree here in about 30 minutes.
Not unless you like Child Protective Services to be called on you.
Maybe like to live dangerously, but not like that. So that's not a good idea. All right. Clarissa's got a great question. Hey guys, what are your thoughts on the Halloween versus Christmas? You have a favorite between the two? So party wise, I like the Halloween party better, which we'll talk about that here in just a second. But the Christmas season is pretty special down there. If we just talk about the time of year to visit, I'm a huge Christmas person. So I like the Halloween party because the trick-or-treating, but I like the Christmas season better. Ricky, where do you fall?
I am a Halloween party girl all the way. While I think the Christmas party is special, there's just something really cool about the Halloween party. It's just, I feel like they offer a bit more. I find the parade is fine for the Christmas party. The fireworks are fine. The stage show is kind of blah to me. I feel like you get a better experience with all of those things with the Halloween party. I also feel like the trick-or-treating is way better than the cookies and the hot chocolate. So, and you get to dress up for the Halloween party, which, I mean, you can dress up for the Christmas party, but it's not as fun. So I'm all in on the Halloween party. I think it's the better of the two for sure. And that's the one that I would go to.
All right, let's get to this question from the inbox. Says, hurry, solo day in March. It's from Ashlyn, who's out in Aurora, Colorado. Hello there, Mike, Ricky, and Pam. I'm headed to the world from March 19th to the 24th. I'm going with my sister, her husband, and her 2 children. Because they're staying longer on both ends of my trip, I just lined up that they have 2 Hollywood Studios days while I'm there. Since Magic Kingdom is my favorite park, I decided to take the second Hollywood Studios day as a solo day in the Magic Kingdom. My sister got me an 8:10 reservation at Be Our Guest, so I'll be in Fantasyland when the park opens. I was able to snag fast passes for 7 Dwarfs, which I haven't been on yet, Big Thunder, and Space Mountain. They end by 1 o'clock, so I should still be able to get some rolling fast passes on the other rides later in the day. But do you have any tips for an all-day single rider? Things I should watch for or do? I grew up in a Disneyland girl, so my favorite attractions are the classics like Haunted Mansion, Pirates, Jungle Cruise, etc. I haven't been to the world since 2013, so I don't know if there are any real differences to look out for. Thanks in advance for your help and all you guys do. Hope you have a magical day, Ashlyn. So Ricky, you talk about going solo and you tour the parks hard, kind of like this.
I do.
So she's a Disneyland girl, likes the classics.
Mm-hmm.
Once she exhausts those initial Big Thunder, 7 Dwarves, and Space, and those are great fast passes to have right at the beginning of the day. And plus you're in Fantasyland right at the beginning of the day, so you can knock out things like Peter Pan Small World if you want early. Mm-hmm. Winnie the Pooh too. What should she focus on once those fast passes run out as a solo traveler, trying to get as much done in the Magic Kingdom as possible?
Well, I always talk about playing the Fast Pass game, and as a solo traveler, this is going to be key for you. So the Fast Pass game is as soon as your last Fast Pass is up, start looking in the app and making a Fast Pass for the next attraction that appeals to you, and take that Fast Pass for the earliest time. You can kind of play with it too. So if you need to make the fast pass, and then you can go in and try to edit and see if you can make that fast pass for an earlier time. So that's kind of my tips. That's what I usually do on solo days. But the best part about solo days is that you get to do kind of what you want to do. As we've kind of mentioned before. So you are at your own pace. You can, hit things as hard as you want to hit them, or not, or take as leisurely amount of time as you want to do them. I would not miss, I know she loves Disneyland. So a couple things that are kind of low on the radar that I wouldn't miss. I wouldn't miss the Enchanted Tiki Room. I know it's different, but it's got that Disneyland feel to it. I also wouldn't miss Country Bear Jamboree because they don't have it in Disneyland anymore, and it is such a classic attraction. You absolutely want to make sure you hit that up. And I would not miss Carousel of Progress. Now, these are all attractions that you don't have to have Fast Pass for, so that's kind of the nice thing is you can go on them at your leisure. Also, don't miss the TTA because that is such a classic attraction for Walt Disney World, and you absolutely will want to make sure you hit that. And then, of course, hit all the Disneyland favorites that you have. So, there are differences to each of the attractions that's at Disneyland versus Walt Disney World. Some are better, some are not. I'll let you decide which ones there are. But, there's tons of things that are similar that are still a lot of fun. And then, make sure you're trying to hit some of those attractions that are brand new to you, especially since you haven't been since 2013. So all of New Fantasyland is probably brand new to you. Don't miss Enchanted Tales with Belle, which seems like something that would be very silly for an adult to go to. But again, it's new and something that you haven't been in, and it's very unique. So that's something else I would definitely not miss for someone in your situation.
And just have that My Disney Experience app pulled up and to see what Fast Pass you can get. And like Ricky said, supplement with all those other things that you need to do. All those things Ricky said are spot on, and you got a great day. I mean, boom, you're set.
Yep.
Kim's got a great question. It says about Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. Do they sell more tickets for the actual date of Halloween? Is it busier that night compared to the other party nights? They're going to be down there for Wine and Dine Half and thought about doing the party. I don't think Disney announces this officially, but it feels like on Halloween they sell more tickets.
I'm sure that they sell more tickets on Halloween than they do any other day.
That's also the highest price night too.
Exactly. So why wouldn't they? It does sell out too. So I'm sure that they cap it at a certain point, but I bet that point is probably about 5,000. Well, actually, let's be honest, they probably try to sell the same amount of tickets to every single party. So, but it's probably a good amount of people in the park, whatever they cap it at. So, yeah.
All righty. Let's get to the last question of the day. It's a Mother Sunday at Disney from Elizabeth. Hey there, BOGP crew. I had a question for the podcast. I booked a trip with a wonderful travel agent at Magic for Less. Thank you. And the way our trip is going to work out, my 8-year-old son and I will be getting to Florida around 8:35 a.m. And my husband won't be there till 9:00 p.m. We don't want to go to the parks without my husband. That's a good wife and son.
Yeah, that is nice.
So other than swimming at the hotel pool, what else do you suggest we do? Would we be open to a character dining or a dining experience of your recommendation, or even going mini golfing? Thanks for all you do. Really enjoy listening to you guys, Elizabeth. This is a great opportunity to have, mother-son time and really make memories. I like the idea of mini golf because I think, an 8-year-old son would be all about that. I suggest Winter Summerland over by Blizzard Beach. I think it's more fun for kids of that age. It's more forgiving than Fantasia Gardens. That one's hard.
Yeah.
It makes it hard. So other than, you could also go to Disney Springs. I don't know if you would want to, do something like Splitsville, or maybe he's into Lego. You got the Lego store, World of Disney. I mean, great opportunities to dine down there. That's kind of more adult stuff, but maybe this 8-year-old wouldn't like that. I don't know. What else do you suggest, Ricky? What about a character meal somewhere?
Yeah, you could definitely do a character meal. There are a lot of options that are at the resorts, which is kind of nice. The other thing, I'm gonna say two things first. One thing first, and then I'm gonna plug something. So I'm gonna suggest to actually maybe do Blizzard Beach or Typhoon Lagoon. I think a water park day might be a good option, especially with an 8-year-old and who's looking to burn off some energy because they're officially on vacation at this point. So I think that might be an option. Now, my plug is going to be for the Mouse for Less. So on the blog, we actually have a blog that's kind of gone viral lately, and it's things to do on your first day at Walt Disney World. And so I think that there's a lot of great suggestions in there of things that you might want to consider that maybe you haven't considered before too. So just go search for that title and you'll find it. And I think that I think that you'll have a good time no matter what, though, because you do have that mother-son bonding time, which is going to be awesome for the two of you.
Absolutely. All right, bonus question real quick from the chat. Blair Crush. Okay. We have a Hoop-Dee-Doo review the last night of our trip. Is it crazy to take the boat transportation to the show, or should we drive? We'll have a car and be staying on property at Riverside. Was thinking of hopping from the Magic Kingdom. We love your show. Going on free dining in July. It'll be hot, but we are excited. You know what? The boat from the Magic Kingdom takes the right to Pioneer Hall. I mean, that's way easier than driving in, to be honest.
Absolutely. That's exactly what I was going to suggest, is just take the boat. That's 100%. It's so much easier.
I heard some other podcasts say better on a boat once.
I know. It is better on a boat.
You would know.
I would.
Cheater.
Oh, come on.
We're all Missouri friends here.
I know, right?
All right, that's going to do it for today's podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. We had an awesome chat room, burning it up. Again, if you want to be a part of the chat next week, I don't know that we'll be on Monday. We may be on Tuesday, so stay tuned for that on the Facebook page. We love having you as part of the live show as we go, because you guys helped correct all the problems we had.
Yeah, exactly. Everything that I got wrong tonight. You've been on it today. So thanks, chat room.
Without you guys, the show would have been a hot mess. So it was only partially a hot mess because you were here. So thank you so much for that. Don't forget, today's show brought to you by our friends over at virtualmickey.com, home for great iPhone apps like Theme Park News Disney Edition. Ricky, is there any news that we're reading about on this great free iOS app?
Oh, you mean besides Star Wars? Okay. All right. We'll get to something besides Star Wars. So, if you have a little one in the family, I have two things that are kind of exciting for you. The first thing is that the Bibbidi Boppity Boutique is going to be adding a third location at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa starting this summer. So, if you've got a princess who wants to be transformed or a knight who wants to be transformed, you will be able to do that. The Ivy Trellis, I know, Mike, you were worried, is still going to be existing.
Yeah, moving it though. Yeah,
It's just moved to Senses, which is the spa there at Disney's Grand Floridian. And the other option is that Fancy Nancy is going to be meeting.
Who is Fancy Nancy? Seriously, like there's a couple other like people that I've never heard of that I saw people getting pictures with. Like,
Mike, clearly you don't have a toddler. Neither do I, but I at least know who Fancy Nancy is because I read everything. So Fancy Nancy is a Disney Junior character. So she's like, Mike, you remember, Big Bear in the Big Blue House? I think that's more up your speed.
You know what? I know that there were Fancy Nancy books because when Paige was little, again,
Yes.
Paige graduates college this spring. Hopefully, cross our fingers if she can
Gosh,
pass
fingers,
calculus.
yes.
But I mean, the thing is that I knew the books were something, but I had no idea she was a Disney property and that she had a TV show. All of a sudden, it's like I've only heard like Fancy Nancy, like Pam would say it in passing, but now all of a sudden, boom, she's at Walt Disney World.
Yes, so Disney took the books and they have created a Disney Junior series. So guests will be able to meet Nancy at the Animation Courtyard in Disney's Hollywood Studios. She will also be part of the Disney Junior Play and Dine Breakfast at Hollywood and Vine, joining Vampirina, Doc McStuffins, and Rose DeRacer Goofy. Unfortunately for you, Sophia the First fans, she will be leaving Disney's Hollywood Studios. I guess her show's not on anymore because I would assume that if her show was still on the air, they would not be taking Sophia the First out. So I didn't know Sophia the First wasn't on the air anymore, to be perfectly honest. So that was news to me.
No idea.
I don't have a toddler. I said, so I didn't know. But yeah.
All right, we'll get the latest news for your iOS device. It's free. It's right there, virtualmickey.com. Don't forget to use our Amazon affiliate link when you do that shopping on Amazon. Right now, we need snow shovels and long underwear still here in the Midwest. So anytime you need that stuff, we should be getting sunscreen and sunglasses. Thanks, Mother Nature. But whatever you buy at Amazon, just use the link. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. We appreciate that so much. Give us a follow on social. We're on Instagram and Twitter at BeOurGuestPod and at BeOurGuestMike. We've got an awesome Facebook page over at facebook.com/BeOurGuest.
And make sure you're following along because Ricky will be down there for the first weekend of Flower and Garden. So be prepared for lots of great content from the festival.
Put it up on the Facebook page like I did. I was working hard.
You were working real hard, Mike.
All right, so it's coming to you live on our socials, so check that out. Flower and Garden time. Wow. And there's snow on the ground here.
I know.
It's ridiculous. Anyway, we're going to be back again on Friday. Pam's joining me. We're going to have some fun talking. I don't know exactly what we're going to talk about. We may do more listener questions. We may do a topic show. We may talk about her recent cruise. Lots to catch up with Pam on Friday, so join us here for that. So for Ricky and Pam, I'm Mike. Wish you a great Wednesday. Time to head back to work. And we'll see you real soon. All right, let me
Boom.
see. What's that question in the chat there from Rebecca Speaks?
We have an onboard booking discount for our future cruise. I was hoping for a 7-night over our fall break, but it looks like more 3, 4, and 5-night cruises. Thinking of doing a back-to-back on the Dream. What do you think of back-to-backs?
I love back-to-backs.
Yeah, I haven't done one, so I
did a back-to-back, but on 2 different cruise lines. I did a 5-nighter on the Dream and a 7-nighter that came out the same day we got back at on Freedom of the Seas.
Yes, you did. So
you know what though, we did kind of get burned out at the end of because that's 12 nights at sea.
Well, that's 12 nights, but if it's like a 3 and a 4 night that they're doing back-to-backers on, I mean, that's one thing. The only thing I will say is, I have heard people get a little bored because they're going to Nassau twice, and Nassau is not the most exciting port. But if you stay on the ship one time and go to Nassau the other time, and then you get 2 days in Castaway Cay, which is nice too. So, or if you do the 5-night and the 3-night, then you get 3 days at Castaway Cay. So
now that I think about it, though, I think I'd do the 7 out on the Fantasy. I like the Fantasy a lot. I like they're all great, but I like 7.
They can't. There's no 7 nights that are available. It looks like during their fall break.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, then back-to-backs work. The only thing if you do one cruise, you're getting 10% off the entire cruise. Where if you do a back-to-back, you're only getting a 10% discount on the first.
Valid. So I would, if you're doing that, I would do it on the longer one.
Well, yeah, definitely. You want to move the longer one, move the placeholder to the longer of the two, the more expensive of the two.
That's true.
Todd says we have frequent flyer miles at the Ivy Trellis. The Ivy Trellis is a hidden gem. And I'm glad they're taking it away. I thought for sure it was a goner.
I did too. When I saw it, I was like, when I saw the news about Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique in Grand Floridian, I was like, oh no, Ivy Trellis is going. And then I saw that they were going to continue to have it. So I wonder if they probably need to keep it because of, you know what? They probably need to keep it because of all the brides who are getting married at the wedding pavilion, which is right next door. And they need a place to have their hair done. Yeah. That's why they're keeping the Ivy Trellis.
I mean, I get it though, because if you think about the two, they're going to make a lot more money with a Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique because it's like the thing, you know. It's
and
like,
there's no reason not to move the Ivy Trellis to the spa because, you know, I mean, like you said, it's not. I don't think it's getting as used as the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique would. You know, even with the weddings, I still don't think it's getting as used. So moving it to a spa is probably a really good opportunity, I think.
We didn't start early, James. You're late.
We did not start early. We started at 5:40, same as usual. We just only have one show tonight.
Yeah, we're only doing one show. It's Taco Bell time. I got to edit and get Taco Bell because Pam couldn't make it. But again, tomorrow afternoon, if you want to play a little Tuesday afternoon, in St. Louis, they call it horse hooky because like starting in the springtime, we have a racetrack over.
We do have a racetrack.
And so Mike Shannon, who's our Cardinals announcer, he's always goes over and plays horse hooky post times at like 1. So they tell everybody to leave work, go bet on the horses and go back. I guess, do you go back to work after that?
I would not say you're going back to work at that point.
So play Disney hooky with us tomorrow afternoon. It'll be fun. We need you here.
I like it.
Tune in from work. We're always safe for work.
That's right.
And SFW or something that like we're always SFW.
NSFW is not safe for work. So
we're always
SFW.
SFW. Yeah. You get it right. Okay. All right.
What about DSFW? Disney safe for work.
Well, I mean, we're definitely safe for work. Or AW, whatever. Always safe for work. All right. Gotta get out of here. So I'll talk to you later, Ricky.
All right.
Have fun this weekend.
And I'll be sure to share on the socials.
Yes. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. See you guys.
Bye.